Happy Valentine's Day. Today we're going to talk about love in the pulps and the paperbacks, and about St. Valentine's and a little history. Little history is that St. Valentine actually was a person that was a prisoner, and he was held prisoner under guards who wouldn't talk to him, and there you have that guarded sense of he was being controlled by guards. And he converted them to Christianity. And after he converted them to Christianity, he became friends with his guards, and he helped them in their love life with their wives and with their girlfriends. And this is where you became Saint Valentine, and Valentine's Day started. And this is where you have Cupid shooting his arrows into the hearts of people. And the reason why he shot the heart is because the arrow went into the heart and broke the person's heart. And that's where love. You have to open up your heart for love. And in these books and magazines and pulps, we're going to take a look at some of the cover art and all that has to do with it. So without further ado, we're going to... love is emotional, and love is real, and we're going to talk about some of that. First, we're going to look at some of the pulps that were used in the 40s and 50s. Thrilling Love. And in this pulp magazine, my wife Lucille is an artist, recreated it on the cover of a box. So the box opens up like a book, and she recreated this. And she's enough of an artist and a little bit of a forger and a counterfeiter in a sense, because she created from this quick reader, Love is a Funny Business, she created our wedding program from 1999, and she put her face and my face in where the covers of the people on the quick reader were. So love is a funny business, and we're going to get to it now with some more pulps and paperbacks. These are all from the 40s and 50s. This is March 1945, romance. All of them show beautiful cover art of lovely women and men and women in romantic situations. Exciting Love from 1945. All Story Love from March 1945. 10-Story Love from January 1946, I believe. Ideal Love, 1952, March. Love Novels Magazine, Trust My Heart, from May 1947. Love Short Stories, Brief Paradise, by from April 1948. She's reading a book about romance. Love Stories, actually it's Gay Love Stories. No date on it. It's a little damaged, but a beautiful, beautiful face, beautiful cover art on all of these. Rangeland Romances from November 1946. I'm No Angel Cowboy. And in some of the love pulps were also like Rangeland Romances. They were westerns, but it was love in the West. Love Story Magazine, Illustrated, A Crushed Butterfly, a new love story by Ruby Ayers. Modest Stein did the cover. This is the January 28th 1928 issue. This is an oldie. And Modest Stein did the artwork. He's a very famous and well-known artist. Love Story magazine from May 28, 1927. Another Ruby Ayres story. The Streetman Smith publication with another Modest Stein cover. A very excellent artist. Love Book magazine, February 1947. Beautiful, lovely lady. Unfortunately, they stamped 1947 on her forehead. Love Book magazine from May 1945. The stories Amateur Playboy. All stories complete. Stories of love and romance. Love Book magazine from August 1948. Another beautiful kissing scene. And another Love Book magazine from November 1943. My Man's in the Navy, No Trespassing. That's a girl from World War II. And that's some of the love pulps, and a little bit of history about St. Valentine, who was a real person. And now we're going to look at some of the paperbacks. To Marry with Love by Richard Sherman, a Bantam book, number 124. And from 1949, Signet number 711, Love in Dishevelment by David Greenwood. So Love in Dishevelment. Here's a very rare one, British Boardman Pocket Reader, number 109, Romance Stories. These are incredibly rare. British books. They were 6p. They were by T.V. Boardman in England. They did a series of these Boardman Pocket Readers. They're very much like the quick readers with the title author spine showing on the edge of the cover, so it looks like more of a substantial book. And there were romances and westerns and crime mystery in this series, and they were all done by artwork was by Dennis McLaughlin, and the inside artwork is really pretty nice. Boardman Pocket Readers are incredibly rare, and especially in this condition. This is a beautiful condition. The crime and the western ones are avidly collected. The romance ones not so much, but the romance ones seem to be harder to find sometimes. I know one collector in California who's looking for, has almost a complete set of them, just needs 2, and I believe that it's romances that he doesn't have. Let me just do a few of the, this is all Dennis McLaughlin art. That's probably his wife, because his wife was his chief model. So they had Boardman Pocket Readers.
Should do something on Boardmans in the future.
Yes, we will. We definitely will. Continue on from 1949. Pocketbook 605, Burned Fingers by Kathleen Norris. And that's her first love was the wrong love. So I hope this is her second love, and it's the right love. Wilderness Nurse by Marguerite Moores Marshall is Pocketbook 746 from 1950. And if only I were sure, she thought. Looks like she's got herself a doctor. First Love by, actually it's by 16 stories of great authors of romantic fiction. Bantam Book number 503, probably from the early 50s. Confession by Dorothy Lestina, Bantam book number 417. And I hate being a housewife. I want to live. So the story of an uncertain wife. And cover art is by Scheuer. Romances were very popular. And of course, you know, this type of romance is a more traditional romance books, and then of course they would morph in the 70s, 60s and 70s into the Harlequin romance books, and then into the more historical romance, which was more action-adventure, bodice rippers, and all of that. But these are the early romance books of just love and women dreaming about meeting a decent guy that cares about them and loves them and treats them right. And
probably to tap into the female market.
Tapping into the female market, absolutely, and getting women into being interested in reading love paperbacks, because they'd already read pulp magazines, as we've seen, that were you know, Love Book magazine and such, that were romance and love pulps, and then so they get them into the paperback market also. Signet number 778 is I Am Thinking of My Darling, and this is beautiful embrace cover. Love Fever in Manhattan. And Bantam number 754, The Hour of Truth by David Davidson. His wife let him go to the tropics to learn how to love. I don't know, he could have stayed home and learned how to love, but he had to go to the tropics. There's another beautiful embrace cover. And the last of the paperbacks is Office Nurse by Adelaide Humphreys, Bantam number 422. She was his nurse and his office wife. Another embrace kissing cover. Sweet, innocent, charming, lovely cover art that's just beautiful. And these books and these pulps were, of course, women read these, and they also read the love pulps. For years, the love pulps were kind of relegated to second-class status, because pulp collectors, mostly male, were interested in the science fiction and the hard-boiled crime and the pulp heroes like the Shadow and the Spider and stuff like that. Love pulps were relegated to, like, you know, nobody was interested in them. But they have recently become quite collectible. People are interested in them. They have a certain charm and beauty to them that people really enjoy, and people collect them. So it's good. But, and also a lot of the women that wrote for the love pulps. Morris Hirschman's wife was a pulp writer, and she wrote for the love pulps. And now we're going to put these aside for a minute, and we're going to look at some more modern books, hardcovers. You can see this, see the spines here of them. Some classic love and some more recent. By recent, I mean in the 80s, with McGinnis cover art. These all have McGinnis covers. These are the Joanna Lindsay book club editions of her Avon novels. Joanna Lindsay wrote Tender is the Storm, and this is from 1985. Most of these books are from the 80s. So this is from 1985, Tender is the Storm, Joanna Lindsay, with a McGinnis cover. And this is a book club edition, reprint of the Avon paperback original that came out in 1985. This maybe came out in 85 or 86. And the thing is that Joanna Lindsay had a contract with her publisher that the cover art would be different than the traditional romance covers at that time. at that time you had what they call the bodice ripper cover art. You had the strong, tough man holding the beautiful woman in a heated embrace, and oftentimes the woman was half undressed, her clothing was falling off, or she was sometimes naked with a strategically placed something to cover her nakedness. But in this case, Joanna Lindsay wanted to reverse that. And she says, you know, I want to have the man naked and the woman clothed. And this is what the cover art was deemed to be. And this is what McGinnis was told to paint. And these are the paintings that he did for these books.
The only hardcover edition is
the only hardcover edition of these books is the book club edition. They were wraparound covers, mostly, I think. And they don't have a picture of Joanna Lindsay. And the next one is A Heart So Wild. Again, just a beautiful McGinnis cover. In this one, the man is not naked, but in others he is. And again, it's a wraparound. Not much on the back, but still beautiful. Beautiful books. Beautiful books. The next one is When Love Awaits. Joanna Lindsay, historical romance. Here we go again with the naked hero, and the woman is totally clothed. There's a castle in the background. It's a historical romance. And the wraparound cover. Beautiful. Beautiful books. Beautiful books. The next one is A Gentle Feuding. All these are Joanna Lindsay from the 1980s. These are book club editions. And it says they all show book club edition. And on the back cover they have the book club code, each one of them. So this is A Gentle Feuding, and the cover and the back cover. And again, it's the man is naked and the woman is fully clothed. One more Joanna Lindsay. These are all McGinnis covers, by the way. Brave the Wild Wind. Beautiful McGinnis art. And the back cover of the wraparound dust jacket. These are the same covers that were on the Avon paperbacks for these Joanna Lindsay books. The next book is another McGinnis cover, When Love Commands by Jennifer Wilde. Beautiful image, heated embrace in the snow, but they're staying warm. And here's the wraparound cover. McGinnis did a little extra work here on the back. It's quite nice. See it better. And Love and Fury by Patricia Hagen, another historical romance. McGinnis cover art. And you see the cavalry troopers or World War I or Spanish-American era soldiers on horseback. And there's the back cover of the dust jacket, wraparound cover. And just to show you the whole thing. So that's 7 McGinnis beautiful romances that he did. Our paperback collectors love the work of Robert McGinnis and Robert Maguire, Walter Popp, and many of the other legends in the vintage paperback area. But they also, in the 80s and 90s, they did a lot of romance covers and historical romance covers. And
Mitchell Hooks.
Mitchell Hooks also, and
on romance.
They did many beautiful romance covers. So that was they continued working. And next we're just going to look at a few a little bit older books that have to do with romance. Odds on Love by Maisie Gregg is a triangle book from 1946. This reprints the Doubleday edition. Tony staked his love on a dark horse, and the outcome of the race was to decide the lover's fate. The next one is a novel that probably every mother would have liked. She Married a Doctor by Dorothy Walker. It's a triangle book from 1946. Reprints the 1939 Liverite edition, hardcover. Triangle published a lot of really nice reprints that were cheaper reprints. Nora accepted the loneliness of a doctor's wife until she discovered that a lovely nurse had something to do with it. And there we go. She Married a Doctor. Next one is The Hidden Heart, A Charming and Unusual Tale of Young Love by Dorothy Black. This is Triangle Book 136 from 1948. This is interesting. This is a hardcover, not in a dust jacket, but in illustrated boards. So it's in a laminated board. Very nice. And the last one, last but not least, Triangle Book number 311. All these Triangle books are marked with numbers. This is from if I can find it. This is from 1947, reprint. It's John Bartell Jr. by Donald Henderson Clark, the tender and convincing story of a man who truly loved his wife, but became aware that the world was filled with other women. How could he, not supposed to do that. And that's Donald Henderson Clark, who's quite a interesting author, collectible author, wrote some gangster crime books, and a lot of kind of risque romance type stuff that kind of segues into the noir area. And the back cover of these books, they have the Triangle books where you could order other ones in the series. So there you have a grouping of lovely love books. And love is a funny business, and St. Valentine's Day, even though it's known by a lot of people today, the St. Valentine's Day Massacre and gangster crime and Al Capone and all of that, Chicago era in the 20s, this is about Valentine's Day and love. And just wish you all the best. May your Valentine's Day be full of love and happiness. And I hope you enjoyed this look at the love pulps and love paperbacks and romance. We should all keep romance in our hearts. And thanks for looking. Hope you enjoyed it. Give us a thumbs up and a like. And see you next time. Thank you.